Alright guys, Suchcrubber here, back again today. Yesterday the Seattle Surge branding was confirmed, and Nameless and Pac-Man did their first CoDcast podcast. They went through, wasn't the best way to say that, but they went through the teams. They give some rankings related to that, so we'll have a look through that in today's video, and a lot more to go along with it. So like if you guys enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always. Let's hop into a few things here. Got a lot of clips to share with you throughout the video as well, and probably at the end also. Mbos, of course, it's that time of the season again. Free agent officially announced. Mbos is back in the game. He did this in World War II, right? Early on in the season, he actually was on I'm not about sure, a decent team, but I think he was playing with Sensor, maybe Parasite. I forget exactly what the team was. But, you know, they were playing the online 2Ks and stuff. Mbos at the start of the World War II season. Didn't work out for him then. Money B's decided he's making his comeback in the game again. Do I think it's going to work out for him? I'm very doubtful at this point. I also wanted to run this past from what Killer says, because I'm actually very thankful they made all these maps huge and didn't make footsteps completely silent. Rotating bombs and planting is actually a huge advantage on the map. This is what S&D is all about. I'm already hitting private match for hours and, you know, throwing tactics around and, you know, tax, whatever he exactly means by that, tactical equipment, tax, whatever. Last tweet about this, because honestly I can't get on social media without all the negativity and complaining, so they don't like all the creative ideas that IW wanted in their game. Not sure I exactly agree with the creative ideas. I think that the game was clearly made with casual players and public match players in mind. I was on the Spitfire podcast last night. If you guys would like to check it out, I'll leave it linked down below, where we talked about this in some great detail, right? But just to touch on it briefly here, the game is clearly made for the casual side in mind. I don't really think it was particularly creative ideas, but at the same time I do see a lot of promise for these S&D maps. There's a lot of depth to them, there's a lot of angles to be had, there's a lot of potential tactics that could come into play, bomb sites, splits, all of these things that we can see going forwards. S&D is going to play to some degree properly to some degree like it has done in the past. And also wanted to run this clip past you guys if you hadn't seen this as well. A 20-second clip I'll put up on screen now, because this is just honestly hilarious and sums up Modern Warfare very well, but also a little angle that I didn't even know existed.
You see him in the glass? Through the window, up. No, left. Exactly where you're looking to your up. Exactly where you're looking, right. At the door. Look, yeah, up. At the window, up. Look up. In the broken window. In the broken, left. It's a window you're not supposed to see through. It's a window you're not supposed to see through. Look at the door. Look at the door. Look up. Go straight up. Right there. Yes, that's him. That is him. Oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ.
So moving onwards, thanks to Christian for pointing this out to me. Capture the flag and kill confirmed are in leaderboards, but you can't play them in pubs. I haven't actually seen this at all before, but as he shows on this scoreboard here, TDM, freefall, domination, cyber attack, search and destroy, CTF, kill confirmed is all here. So we've been talking about how CTF isn't even in the game. There's been discussion, of course, with domination being confirmed yesterday in the V1 rule set for competitive play. Where is CTF? Would that be considered as a competitive mode? You guys were talking about headquarters as well to some degree in the comments yesterday. Would CTF work? I don't know. I'm personally not convinced, but maybe it's something the pros will give a go, because of course we've got pretty much like 3 months until the league actually starts, just under 3 months. So there's plenty of time to experiment here, and there's plenty of time to play tournaments. Pioneers, Kansas City Pioneers, they've signed a roster for their 2020 season already. That's going to be Hawkey. A lot of you guys will know this individual if you follow the European scene at all. Harry Payne, who was on Madcat's team at the Champs, Chakstar, you know, Callum Control Deck. I'm not exactly sure who this guy is, but definitely some names that you guys could keep an eye on here. And a lot of these guys I think are on that what was the team exactly called again? Fuego Gaming, I think, something like that. When Madcat's not here anymore, obviously, which maybe means he's going to be a substitute somewhere. We'll have to see how that comes out in the coming days. John Boble of Revan says, watch this spawn, I need an explanation. I'm just going to play this clip for you guys. Keep your eyes fixed on the left-hand corner of the screen. This is also your first kind of look at CODcast, alright? What are your guys' initial impressions? I think it looks kind of ugly. It looks almost like the CODcaster you would have in the like beta or alpha version of a game, because all the textures are very opaque. But at the same time, you can see everything you'd want to see. I like the way the minimap is really big and doesn't actually take up too much space at the same time. So there's some positive things here. But yeah, keep an eye on the bottom left of that minimap. Look at the spawn that Celium gets. So these are the things that are certainly going to have to be ironed out over time, and you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But spawns right now are a big issue in Domination Hardpoint, especially. I do remember back in the Infinite Warfare days, at the start of that game, the spawns in Hardpoint especially were not pretty at all, and it took a fair few months for them to get things figured out, but once they did figure out the spawns and get them working like a proper competitive game should have the spawns work in Hardpoint, as Infinite Warfare did in the end, then we had a really, really good Hardpoint game on our hands, in my opinion. This game, I think it's going to be more difficult because the maps are more complicated, and you know, that was Hack in a Yard, right, which is probably the least complicated of all the maps, which kind of makes me think it's going to be a tough road for Respawn in this game. Maybe your future duo is in the comment section below. The challenges registration is now open. You can get your squad together on the website. So October the 30th, registration for online ladders and the first 2K series tournament begins. So tournaments coming up that we can talk about, online stuff, but not too much happening over the next couple of weeks. Probably, you know, about Call of Duty challenges. We did go through this the other day. Throughout the season, challenges events will take place online and in offline open tournament events. You know, it's basically what they've said is that as the league tours around the world, those teams that are in charge of putting on those events, that are hosting the events effectively, which are events but kind of just league games are touring around, those, they can also have their equivalent open amateur side to that, if they would so like. And I don't know to what degree that has to be run by Activision or whoever's putting it on, or whether London can put on their own team to do that if that was to be the case, or whatever city it happens to be in, right? So yeah, you guys can feel free to read through this if you guys, and you know, I'll leave it down below, of course. How does it work? All this stuff. If you guys would like to compete and go for the top prize. Spinner Spence also makes an interesting point. For pros looking to compete in the 2Ks, you cannot compete in it unless you're on a two-way contract and your team has an affiliate academy team currently in challenges. Very interesting stuff, because 2Ks, it seems now, are going to be the you know, amateur side situation, and pros can compete if you have a situation where you may be on the bench kind of thing. So if you're in Toronto or something, you have a 10-man roster, the 5 players that aren't in your starting roster can play. But right now, because we don't have a clear 5-man starting roster, that, you know, can't play in the academy and that side of things, then if you're a pro and you have that two-way contract, you can play. But if you don't have an affiliate academy team, then unlucky, you're not going to be able to play in the 2K. So they'll be probably playing in other tournaments. The 2K may well fall by the wayside, as it kind of did last year. We had these CMG tournaments that took over the game in the early part of the season. So we do actually have an event to talk about this weekend, Sunday, November 3rd, the final day of the Subliners New York Open. There's pro players playing $10,000 prize pool. It's an online tournament, but MLG are going to be covering it here. Register on Game Battles, so something to keep your eyes on at least for the upcoming weekend. And here we go then, Seattle Surge confirming their brand. And we know the team, Karma, Apathy, Octane, Enable, and Slacked as the squad. Very interesting team on the whole. Nameless and Pac-Man tend to think they're a very, very good team. I really like their branding. It's going to be exciting seeing Seattle up against Florida, right? They've both got those sea kind of themes. Drown them out, I think, is a really nice hashtag here. Just a couple of quick thoughts in addition on top of this team then, because we were talking about it a little bit yesterday on Spitfire, and okay, I think Octane, a fantastic player. I think Apathy is a fantastic player. He can be a little bit inconsistent, but they're going to play the roles that they have traditionally played. Key question is for me, Enable, Karma, Slacked. They've been, effectively all of them have played support roles the last couple of years. This team, only one of them is really going to be required to play a support role, probably going to be the likes of Enable. So what slaying levels are we going to see out of Karma and Slacked in this team? I think Slacked in the past has been very, very good at putting up 1.0s, and you know, he could even put up better than that if he has a really good day. Karma, of course, I think is the real question mark, right? We've seen inconsistent performances from this guy, but we have known, of course, firstly, 3-time world champion, but also when Dashi was out of the team, Karma stepped up big time and really performed. I felt like last season a lot when Dashi had a bad game, Karma tended to have a good one, and you know, it kind of went back and forth like that, like they were playing similar kind of styles. This team, of course, there's no Dashi, right? So who exactly is going to take over that slaying with the likes of Octane? Probably Karma's going to be a key guy to keep your eye on. And I feel like that really can work out. But I'm just not completely sold that there's enough firepower to compete with some of the very best. And of course, there's no real young talent there either. So very interesting. Couple of quick things to mention before we finish then related to the coaching situation. So the Los Angeles Guerrillas roster is yet to be announced, but this is the rumor. The Florida roster apparently won't be announced for a while, even though this has been talked about to death. Clayster even leaked it on stream, I think, saying that they were playing for Florida. And this is the team he was playing. Chicago branding, I believe that's being announced today on Halloween, of course. Paris branding, who knows? And then substitutes and coaches. Substitutes and coaches is an interesting one. We're not exactly sure what's going on, but rumoured coaches, Josh over at the Paris team, because he did say he's signed somewhere, so good for him. Sender and OpTic, Atura for Florida, which kind of would make sense. He's been around and had some decent success last season, especially with their teams in the middle of the pack. Los Angeles Guerrillas, who knows? And right now, TP, Dallas, who knows right now? Like, Mutex was talked about, TP was talked about, Bevels, Ricky, what's going on right now? That's something to keep your eyes on in future days. And just to finish with then, this is the rankings that Nameless and Pac-Man have for their teams. So, the Surge, this is S tier all the way down to definitely trash. So they've gone for Seattle OpTic, so Los Angeles OpTic, the Empire, FaZe, Chicago, New York, Ultra, Florida, Royal Ravens, Guerrillas, Minnesota, and Paris. And some similar rankings on this side, but in a slightly less flattering order for some of these teams. So I'm definitely going to do a video on that topic in a few days' time when everything gets confirmed. Probably do a video maybe looking at the brandings as well and ranking those in some order when everything is all sorted. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Oh my god, I fucking love pubs, brother. I fucking
Do you have B?
No.
Yeah, I think they're B.
Oh.
Okay, Clay. Oh my god.
To their top window. One middle. Oh! Get the fuck off me!
What just happened?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait, you guys should have seen that whole.
Oh my god!
Nah, bro.